successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. You got a business. You didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
And after he said that, all across the political spectrum, things blew up. Joining us right now with reaction to the president's comment is a small business owner and a congressman from Pennsylvania, Mike Kelly. He's joining us today from Pittsburgh. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. Great to be with you.
It's great to have you. Apparently in an interview with a Tallahassee affiliate on Friday, the president said that as you Republicans try to make hay with that comment, he says that Fuhrer is bogus. All he was saying was, we're all in this together.
Well, you know, in Luke 6, there's a statement that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. This is a president who really does believe what he says, and I understand that. Not coming from the private sector and where he comes from, he doesn't understand it. But coming from where I come from and thousands of people like me, I've got almost 3,000 friends of mine, dealers, who no longer have a dealership because the government decided. So if you want to thank people for helping, you better also start to blame people for taking things away from you.
And Mike, I understand you feel that by saying that you didn't build that business, that revealed what he truly feels in his heart.
Yeah, well, I do believe that, and I think this country's experienced probably the most expensive sabbatical it's ever seen. These last 3.5 years have been very costly for us. But for a person who's in small business, and I got to tell you, all of us are the same. There's that time of the night, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. usually, when you may be exhausted, but there's something going on in your life, something going on in your business. It causes you to wake up and you worry about, how am I going to get through the next day?
Sure.
How am I going to do it? Most of us do it on both knees, by the way. We do it through the help of our faith and our resolve that we're going to somehow make it. So I think it's offensive, but not unexpected. I've watched this now for 3.5 years, you know, losing almost my franchises and watching, as I said, 3,000 other dealers who lost their franchises, not for anything that they did wrong, but a government who decided they weren't going to be in business. This is offensive to us.
Well, because, Congressman, because you feel, look, he was saying the government is there, we're all in this together. The government isn't awake with you at 2 o'clock in the morning wondering how you're going to make a payroll or anything else like that. You took the risk.
And absolutely, and this is a government that relies, every penny that this government spends comes out of a taxpayer's pocket. Somebody who's working hard every day to contribute. So you look at this and you start to wonder, my oh my, is there any reason for us to suspect why we are where we are today? Not for me. I understand it perfectly well. I know how tough it is for folks. Listen, we all work with our associates to make it successful. But at the end of the day, it's up to that person sitting in that seat to make sure that the front of those paychecks that we sign are able to be cashed. We have to be able to cash those checks. That's a lot of hard work. My dad started, he was a parts picker in a General Motors warehouse before the war. Came back home, went back to work for Chevrolet, started a little small dealership in 1953. We built into something we're very proud of with the help of a lot of people. But you know what? We stuck it out. We did everything we could.
That's right.
And there were many of those days that you sit down and you say, my gosh, let me get through the night. Let me get through the next day. Somehow I'll make it. You got to believe in yourself.
You do indeed. All right. Congressman Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania. Sir, thank you very much for joining us so early on this Sunday morning.
Thank you, Steve.